Everyone likes a story of love, especially those stories that are very emotional, very touching, and romantic. When people see two lovebirds, they give different reactions like, God, when? I go love, oh, Romeo and Juliet, and the likes. Do you know that there are actually some people that believe that the story of Romeo and Juliet was a true life story? Yes, there are people that believe. In fact, while I was growing up, I used to think that it really did happen before I got to know that it was a play that was written by William Shakespeare in the 1500s. I know some of you know that it was not a true life story, but let me ask you this sincerely. If history had told us that it was a true life story, would you have believed or not? The truth is, many people would have believed that it happened. And it's because it was an emotional love story. Two lovers killing themselves because they thought their lover was dead. And so it was a tragedy, and it's something really very touching and relatable. But then that made me curious, and I want to ask, especially for those that believe that it was a true life story, or those that will not find it difficult to believe if they were told that it really did happen. And my question is that you don't find it difficult to believe that Romeo and Juliet could have killed themselves because they loved each other so much. But you find it difficult to believe that God could love us so much that He would send a son to die for us. You find it difficult to believe that God could sacrifice His son. Or you don't question the story of Romeo and Juliet if it happened truly or not, even though it was something that had been written since the 1500s, and I'm sure that there's no one from that generation that is still alive till date that can prove whether it really did happen or it did not happen. But then you question the gospel of Christ that we preach. You argue that it was something that happened about 2,000 years ago and there was nothing to prove that it really happened. You argue that it is a myth. You argue that it's a story that is written by a man. You argue that you didn't see it yourself, so there's no way you would believe that somebody would die for the whole world. Yet, there are evidences all around us today. The dead being raised back to life, the sick being healed, people being delivered, the power of God being felt mightily, all in the name of Jesus. Oh, you're a believer. Oh, yeah. You believe that God loved us even when we were sinners, and He was always reaching out His arms of love to us. But then, you made a mistake. You did something wrong, and you regret what you've done. You feel sorry, you feel bad, you feel very guilty. But you feel that because of what you've done, God is very angry with you. You find it easy to believe that God is looking at you and then He's feeling disgusted. That God is looking at you and all He's seeing is a worthless sinner. There's this Yoruba word that says, Elesha abara jati jati. So you believe that God is looking at you and then in His mind is saying, same, Elesha abara jati jati. I'm sorry for my non-Yoruba speakers, but then English would dilute that. But the closest meaning to that in English is a worthless sinner. You feel that He's very disappointed in you. And because of this, your fellowship with God is broken. You could not even pray like you used to. You could not fellowship with God like you used to. You could not approach God like you used to. You're drowning in guilt. You're drowning in condemnation. I want to ask, if He didn't look at you when you were a sinner and then He's disgusted, doesn't even want to have anything to do with you, and all He was saying was a worthless sinner, do you think that it is now that you are His son that He would now look at you and is disgusted, is seeing a worthless sinner, He doesn't even want to have anything to do with you? If you believed that He loved you when you were a sinner, when you didn't know Him, when you were deeply in sin, if you believed that When you were a sinner, God was reaching out his arms of love to you, wanting to have fellowship with you, to have a relationship with you. Don't you think that your Father still loves you still? Your Father still wants to fellowship with you? Your Father is still reaching out those same arms of love to you to save you from drowning in guilt and in condemnation, to get you back on your feet. I just want you to think about this carefully. Stay blessed.